Hello, this is going to be my second nootropic video, and this time I'll be talking about the stimulant nootropic Adrafinil. So here's its structure, and my molecular model sets do not support a quadvalent sulfur atom, so this oxygen atom is actually a sulfur. Anyway, this is its structure. Its structure is quite different to that of many other stimulants, and its mechanism of action is also distinct. So, what happens with Adrafinil is that it's what's known as a prodrug. It's not active in itself, however the body breaks it down into something which is active. This hydroxyl group over here, or hydroxyl amic group here, what happens is that when you ingest it, over the course of about 45 minutes or so in the intestines, the body cleaves off this group, and then you get a hydrogen over here, and then you're left with modafinil, a drug which is a lot more well known. And because of this extra group here, Adrafinil carries some dangers which modafinil does not have, as in large quantities taken over the course of several weeks or months can adversely affect the liver, so I certainly would not recommend taking this substance long term. In terms of its mechanism of action, it does have the mechanism of action which is seen in stimulants, which is increasing the activity of dopamine and norepinephrine. However, Adrafinil and modafinil also have some other areas of pharmacology, and a lot more research is needed into properly understanding its effects. It is thought to affect histamine and GABA, and to be completely honest, I should know more about Adrafinil and modafinil than I do, but there's a quite good article I read a few weeks ago on it, so I'll put that into the YouTube video description, and that talks about this in quite a lot of technical depth. In terms of the effects of Adrafinil, Adrafinil's effects I found could be felt at around 45 minutes after ingestion and lasted for almost exactly 3 hours. The effects are similar to what would be seen in low doses of stimulants, such as increased focus, increased concentration, and increased talkativeness. However, it lacks any feeling of being on a stimulant, this kind of background stimulant feeling. It's quite difficult to describe, but when you have a lot of caffeine, you can sort of feel it quite strongly. Adrafinil, unlike other stimulants, doesn't affect sleep to such a significant extent like with the amphetamines and Ritalin. One can have difficulty sleeping even like 5-6 hours or more after ingestion, but with Adrafinil, after 3 hours, sleep's fine. In terms of its other side effects it did cause quite a lot of flushing, which is not something seen with the other stimulants, which generally make people pale. However, Adrafinil did cause flushing as a side effect. In terms of its actual differences with stimulants as well, it's thought to have a lot less addictive potential and a lot less reinforcing properties. I think I felt that to be true with Adrafinil, as there was no feeling of wanting to take it again, and there was nothing which could be perceived as being enjoyable about it. Just a bit of background about me. I take methylphenidate daily and have been prescribed dexamphetamine for daily use in the past, and so I have taken Adrafinil with methylphenidate. I can't really notice any synergy type effects, but this is a stimulant, even though it's a bit different to classical stimulants, so you would need to be careful with mixing it around. In terms of its actual utility as a nootropic, I don't personally believe it would count as a nootropic. I do not notice any real effects on memory and sort of reasoning, but to be fair, I only took about four lots of 400 milligrams in dosage, and I took 120 milligrams the first time I had it. But it's not really a nootropic, it's more of a productivity enhancing agent. It's the sort of thing which would be good for someone to take in order to concentrate on an exam or to work a bit more efficiently, particularly under conditions of exhaustion or fatigue. It's often used to combat symptoms of sleep deprivation, and this is especially the case with modafinil. In terms of its dosage, a good starting dosage would be around 120 milligrams, just to see if you've got a sensitivity, but most of the dosages are around 300 to 600 milligrams. It's moderately less potent than modafinil, as the conversion by the body from Adrafinil to modafinil is not 100%, and it never is with these things. I don't actually have a sample of Adrafinil to show you at the moment. I did record a video of me sort of weighing out my first dose of it, so I'd put it in the end, but I just have like a whey boat which has a bit of residue there. So this is Adrafinil powder, and it came wrapped up in a little plastic baggie and put into a letter and just put in a regular envelope from the eBay sale I got it, which was Botanicals 4, as in the numeral, less 2011. So Botanicals 4 less 2011, and it took quite a long time to arrive, so that's not good on the part of the seller. But in terms of its legality, it's prescription-only medicine in New Zealand, so I was quite concerned about whether it would get past customs, but it did. It's uncontrolled in the United States, however modafinil is a Schedule 4 DEA-controlled drug, but the Analog Acts do not apply to Schedule 4, which means Adrafinil is legal in the United States for personal importation, use and consumption. I'm not sure about other jurisdictions, so it would be important to look at the relevant statutes. So yeah, I would probably give this substance maybe 7 or 8 out of 10. It works for its intended purpose, but it's not really strong. Don't expect it to be a, Ritalin or type stimulant. It's going to keep you awake. It's going to make you more it's going to improve your concentration, but you're not going to feel as though you're on something. And so yeah, that concludes my video on Adrafinil. I'm just going to show you at the end just what the packaging looks like. I'll attach that. And then on one final note, in terms of the videos I'm planning on the future, I'm going to be doing one on dextroamphetamine as a nootropic, so that's going to be interesting. I'll also be doing one on methylphenidate, and so these are ADHD type medications, so I'm not going to be really looking at them too much in terms of in the context of any sort of recreational use, but just in terms of how they affect concentration, working memory, focus, things like that. So yeah, this ends my video, except for the bit at the end. Open this up, try not to spill it everywhere. So you can see that it's sort of fluffy, low density powder. Well, relatively low density. This is 3 grams here. I'm very clumsy, so I'm doing this slowly.